Yo, what is up guys, welcome back for the 4th round of this big Christmas tournament. This time I'm up against Tyrant. I actually played this guy once before and I was actually in a final. I ended up winning that tournament, but at that time he brought a very annoying defensive core, which took me a lot of turns to actually break. So let's see what he brings now. Wow, that's actually almost the same team. This time he brought Starmie over Crobat and Sableye over his Nidoking. But those other 4 Pokemons are pretty much the same. Maybe they are running the same sets too. But for now, let's just lead off with Tangrowth. And yeah, I can't really respect people who are using Blissey. Because Blissey, in my opinion, is just a brain dead Pokemon. It really takes no skill to use it. But yeah, let's just go for the knockoff now. I'm saying Blissey does not take no skill, but that does not mean that the player is bad or anything. Guys, this is definitely a good player. But I'm talking about in general. But yeah, I knock off his lagging tail as he now goes for Trick, stealing my leftovers. So his plan was probably to use Trick on a fast Pokemon of mine and then give it the lagging tail so that my fast Pokemon would be slower. Yeah, I go for knockoff again after the sleep powder as he brings in his Skarmory, and that's probably the best play on his part to make because he doesn't need Shed Shell because I'm not running a Magnezone this time. But yeah, now I have to switch out. I'm gonna switch into my Raikou because he's most likely gonna set up his Stealth Rocks or his Spikes, and then I can press Volt Switch after. He does go for the Spikes, and now I'm gonna press Volt Switch as he's most likely gonna go into Blissey, like everyone does. I really can't wait till the developers give us some tools to finally break to Blissey, like Choice Band, like some tutor moves, because it's really annoying sometimes. But yeah, now I'm Volt Switching into my Tyranitar, and this is a chance to get up my Stealth Rocks. But first, I want to press Taunt, because Blissey can pretty much take 2 crunches at this point. So if he most likely go for a status move if he stays in. Or he will switch into Tyranitar knowing that Skarmory... Tyranitar. He's most like... Or he's gonna switch into Skarmory knowing that he can easily live a hit from the Tyranitar. I think those 2 plays are the plays he should make. So let's see what he does. He does stay in as he goes for Aromatherapy. So Sableye still stays asleep. And now I can finally... throw down my Stealth Rocks as he will most likely bring in his Skarmory. So Skarmory does come out, and I actually gave my Tyranitar enough speed to outspeed a 0 EV Skarmory. So an uninvested Skarmory on speed. 31 IV but no EVs, that's what I'm trying to say. So I should be able to get the taunt off and prevent him from setting up other spikes, but he's actually faster. So I don't know if I actually calked it wrong or something with, by the EV spread, or if the Skarmory actually has some EV spread, EV investments, speed investments. But yeah, he was faster. So now I'm just gonna bring in my Skarmory as he actually goes for counter this turn instead of switching out. So now I'm getting a free Volt Switch again as he will most likely gonna bring in his Blissey. But yeah, I go for Volt Switch and now he's around half HP, so I can bring in my Garchomp. And he's actually in range of Earthquake. And because Stealth Rocks are up, last time his Clefable was Magic Guard I think. But he could switch it up and go for Unaware, because if it is Magic Guard then he will lose super hard to Gyarados. But yeah, and I'm sure you don't want to switch your Clefable into an Earthquake, so he will definitely go for Skarmory here. So I'm just gonna go for the Sword Stance instead of Fire Blast, because I'm pretty sure he will bring in his Skarmory. But if I go for Fire Blast and he does not do that, then I'm actually in a rough position. So by going for Sword Stance, I can easily kill the Blissey if it heals up. And if he goes Skarmory, then Skarmory is actually pressured to press counter here, because he might be fearing the Fire Fang. But little does he know, I have Fire Blast. So that Fire Blast is not affected by counter, because it's a special move. And now Skarmory is really low, he does not have leftovers, and now I can press Dragon Claw. If he switches now, then he will be in range of Bullet Punch after Stealth Rocks. And that is really important for my late game. But yeah, now he brings in his Clefable. And I actually saw that he lost some health from Stealth Rock, so I can actually press Toxic on the Clefable, so that's why I'm going into Bronzong. I know I can live a Moonblast from here, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Let's just go into my Bronzong, because he still has to star me, so I cannot Bullet Punch sweep yet. That's why I need my Guard Jump around in case his Blissey is able to get off a Soft Boiled at one point, so that I can still put him in range or pressure him at least. So Bronzong is definitely the play, because I can Toxic this guy. He does drop my special attack, but it doesn't matter since I'm not running anything. And now I'm gonna double switch, knowing that he cannot touch my Bronzong, into my Raikou, as he actually goes into his Blissey, probably predicting the Toxic. But now I'm just gonna go for Volt Switch, because he pretty much has to press Aromatherapy. He pretty much has to press Soft Boiled now, but I actually get a crit there, and that pressures him even more. But he's most likely gonna go for the Soft Boiled now, so I can actually bring in my I can bring in Scissor, or I could go into Guard Jump. I think Guard Jump is probably the best play, since he is going for Soft Boiled most likely, and then he's pressured again, and at this point I can finally click Earthquake. I do not have to Sword Stance. His Skarmory is pretty useless at this point, so going for Earthquake is probably the best play. If he does go for Skarmory, I'm just gonna press Dragon Claw, and if he switches into Clefable, Clefable will die after Stealth Rocks to the second Earthquake. So there's not really a lot he can do. So he's decided to go for the Aromatherapy, and I think he will probably sack his Blissey right here, which opens up the game for my Raikou, because he has no switching anymore. So Blissey goes down, and the only thing that could outspeed my Guard Jump on his team is the Starmie. So Starmie is probably gonna come in, and I'm definitely in Surf, Scald or Hydro Pump range. So that's probably the move he will go for. So I think I should just bring in my Tangrowth, because Tangrowth doesn't really do anything besides throwing off some knockoffs. But I don't need that anymore, because his Skarmory is already useless and his Blissey died. So I can just bring in my Tangrowth. And even if Tangrowth dies, it doesn't matter. Then I can bring something that can actually deal with the Starmie. Basically, I want to keep my Guard Jump, because I still, like the previous game, I need my Guard Jump to get one Earthquake off on the Clefable. So he does go for Surf, he gets a crit, and the burn knocks me out. But we don't see Life Orb. Don't see Life Orb recoil on the Starmie, which means the Starmie is definitely Choice Specs. So he's locked into Surf. So I can just go into my Bronzong. And I think he should be fearing some that he cannot kill me in one turn. So I actually want to make the double play. It's very risky and I can lose the game, but I just want to style on this guy. I think I'm going to regret this, but let's just do it. I know how I can win the game anyway. You don't know, he stayed in and went for surf. Yeah, guys, never do that. What I should have done was just go straight into Tyranitar. I know I can live a surf because I'm specially defensive and I have a Sandstorm a special defense boost. I'm just gonna go for Crunch. He might predict the pursuit and stays in. But yeah, Tyranitar just takes out the Starmie and I just basically lost my Raikou for no reason. Because Raikou was actually very important in this game because he had no Blissey anymore, so Raikou could just freely spam Thunderbolt. God. So that kinda looked like a throw, but I'm pretty sure I can still pull it off. Now I'm just gonna let my Tyranitar die. He needs Focus Blast or Energy Ball to kill me. And Alakazam will always run a Psychic or Shock. And Shadow Ball will not kill me from here. And if he has Focus Blast, the Focus Blast could also miss. And if he goes for Energy Ball, yeah, then so be it. If he goes for Energy Ball, Bronzong has actually a chance to kill it later. But I should probably just let my Tyranitar die here and bring in Scissor, press Bullet Punch. Nothing on his team can really take the Bullet Punch because the Starmie died. And Skarmory will also die after Stealth Rocks to Bullet Punch. So Bullet Punch is definitely my play. If Alakazam has 31 HP and 31 defense IVs, then Bullet Punch has a 81.3% chance to knock it out. My Scissor is also a max attack with 31 IVs and 252 EVs in attack. So if he has anything less than those 31 HP or defense IVs, then that's even a higher chance for my Bullet Punch to knock it out. But yeah, the roll is definitely in my favor there, so I think I just go into Scissor. I could go into Bronzong, but he might be able to switch out and make it really annoying. Then I will make it harder for me. I think going for Bullet Punch here is just the best play, because if I knock him out, then I won't have to go to all the trouble again. Because then I will probably need to sack something later to the Alakazam. And now I just knock it out. And let's see what he brings in now. He brings in his Sableye. So Sableye will most likely go for the Will-O-Wisp. Maybe he'll go for Knockoff, getting rid of my Iron Plate, but that does not matter. And yeah, now I'm just gonna bring in my Bronzong. Like, if I still had my Raikou, then I would have, in the previous turn against Alakazam, I would have just brought in my Bronzong. But I don't have him anymore, so I cannot, I do not have that luxury. So he actually goes for he does go for Will-O-Wisp. He burns my Bronzong. And now I'm just gonna press Toxic, because I know this Sableye doesn't have Taunt. And I'm pretty sure he still wants to knock off my item. Yep. So I do poison him, and this is nice actually, because Sableye won't be able to stall my Pokemon anymore, because he's poisoned. Now I'm just gonna press an attack. I actually should have pressed Gyro Ball here in case he wanted to bring in Skarmory. But I'm pretty sure Gyro Ball still wouldn't have killed the Skarmory even after Stealth Rocks, because Skarmory is slow, he resists the attack, and Bronzong is also burnt. But yeah, he just decided to knock out my Bronzong, which is fine, because now I can just bring in my Garchomp. I don't think Bullet Punch from Scissor kills. And even if he burns me, I know, I actually know his Clefable doesn't have Flamethrower, because he's running Thunderbolt, because he's using the same core in like every tournament. So I basically know he's running Unaware Clefable because unaware Clefable with Thunderbolt because it can deal with Gyarados. So if my guard jump gets burned, it really doesn't matter. Scissor has enough health to live a Thunderbolt. And then we can just spam Bullet Punch. So all I need is to bring the Sableye in range. So guard jump is really my play here. And I do not have to press Dragon Claw predicting the Skarmory to come in. I can just press Earthquake. If he stays in and not go for Will-O-Wisp, then Sableye dies. If you go Skarmory, then Skarmory will die to my Dragon Claw. And then I will still have enough health for another attack. And then it really doesn't matter which one he brings in. Because if he... whatever he brings in, I will just press Earthquake. So I get the crit on the Skarmory. That one did really matter, guys. Really. And now, let's see what he brings in. He brings in Clefable, which is nice for me, because now I can just press Earthquake. And I think I have enough health for a second Earthquake. Yeah. And he goes for Moonblast. Like, he could have Life Orb stalled my... Life Orb stalled me. But my Earthquake still did enough. And now, yeah. Like previous game, this is the late game that I foresaw. Scissor cleaning up with Bullet Punch. He didn't even need the Swords Dance in both games. And yeah, if you guys want to join these kind of tournaments, check out twitch.tv/NHRaven like it was projected on the screen. Well, Bullet Punch knocks out the Clefable. And all he has left is his Sableye. And it really doesn't matter what he does, because he's poisoned, so he cannot recover stall me. And he has to press Will-O-Wisp. And if he presses Will-O-Wisp, he dies to the second Bullet Punch. And if he presses Knockoff, he will also die to the second Bullet Punch, since I'm faster than the Sableye. So that's GG. I hope you guys like this game. I know that I throwed really hard actually by letting my Raikou die there. But yeah, if you guys want to see the 5th round, click the pop-up right there.